Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kevin McLaughlin, and today I will be discussing the Hoopers coupon ad, which is one of many ads in State Farm's The Hoopers ads, which aired in 2016 and involved an NBA family, which consisted of Kevin Garnett as the grandpa, Chris Paul as the dad, DeAndre Jordan as the mom, Damian Lillard as the baby, and then Kevin Love, who was playing video games in the corner in this commercial. So the premise of the commercial is that Grandpa comes in and he's looking for a good pair of clippers to cut coupons out with. And Chris Paul's character and DeAndre Jordan's character, who were both on the Clippers at that time, say that he's bound to find one or two good pairs of clippers around there when the baby, played by Damian Lillard, interjects and says, "No good clipper." The State Farm guy comes in and he says, "Oh, coupons are great, but have you tried saving more on your home and auto with State Farm?" The typical jingle, and Kevin Garnett's character is like, "Yeah, sure, but I do love these coupons with Nuggets." And then Kevin Love's character comes in and says, "Oh, I really love Nuggets." So there's two main factors to the nature of the ad. One is that is representing the NBA as a family, and specifically a family with a lot of rivalries. Obviously, Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan are on the Clippers at the time, and Damian Lillard was on the Blazers, both in the West, both competing for a title. Kevin Garnett, represents the grandpa, the aging athlete who is actually aired the year he was retiring. And then Kevin Love and Damian Lillard obviously are the younger guys aiming to take a stab at becoming the next great. The ad also does improve State Farm's branding as the State Farm agent comes in at the end of every commercial, sort of settle things down, calms down, solves the problems, and shows that State Farm is a name you can trust and a brand you can trust. That is also why the NBA players are presented as a family, because they can help NBA players, they help people, you and I. They use these famous people to represent regular, ordinary people to the audience to show that State Farm helps anybody, anywhere, anytime. Some aspects of common sense found throughout the ad is, ironically, State Farm itself saying that State Farm, like, you should have State Farm, and if you don't, it's common sense to have it. And there are also a few stereotypes in the ad. Kevin Garnett plays the grandpa, which this aired in 2016, the year he retired, so he's the old, aging vet on the verge of retirement. Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan are the mom and the dad, middle-aged. They've been in the league 8 to 10 years. They know their way around. They're reaching veteran status. And then Kevin Love and Damian Lillard are the young guys, those guys willing to, prove a name for themselves, get to the top of the list. And they also correlate with how they act, because the old guy's obsessed with coupons and saving anywhere he can. Kevin Love's character, obsessed with Nuggets and video games like any other teenage kid would. Chris Paul, the dad, sitting at the table reading a newspaper, very stereotypical of a regular household. Another thing to notice is the rivalry that they have with one another. The small statements and interjections here and there about no good clipper, find good clipper here and there. They also represent sport rivalries that are found within families. My family in particular, my mom and I are Bills fans, my sister is a Bengals fan, and my dad is a Giants fan. And every time that, the Bills and the Bengals play, the house does get a bit heated. We go back and forth debating, who's better, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. So this is something that is found in families in the real world. Some cultural work I noticed in the ad was that it does reflect back to our Serrazzo reading on sport and its impact as a totem in religion. It's something that is either keeping a family together or tearing them apart at every given moment. And the celebrities used, you can definitely notice this in a lot of ads today. Specifically, I noticed Allstate's backup commercials where they take backup quarterbacks or backup players in the NFL and they have them into like an ordinary family to do stuff that some of them wouldn't do. I know there's one with Tommy DeVito where he's like a professional like sitter, something like that. And one more thing that I wanted to mention was that Blake Kidder, who she is the creative director and art director for the ad, she wanted it to just be like a sitcom family made up of professional NBA players that just depicts family drama and something that can happen in the real world at any time. So that is my interpretation of the Hooper State Farm ad, and I hope you enjoyed.